here I am presenting a bit of a, I would say, unusual or an atypical topic, right, called the loyalty trap. If you've ever told a 21-year-old chemical engineer who had barely made out of college that one day he'll be choosing a bright career in a completely different field, in an entirely different domain, he would have probably just laughed it off. Right. Here I am to talk about all the learnings that I've had in the past little bit over a decade of my career through this presentation, which will be about why your next job shift is actually a superpower instead of just being there for a longer time. So, for a long time, we've been told, or at least made believe, that staying loyal to a company or having fewer career switches over the entire tenure of your working profession was considered to be a gold standard, right? We often wear a long tenure as a badge of honor. But let's be honest, in this badge of honor sometimes would feel like a shackle that could hold you behind, right? That would limit your potential to unlock your thinking capabilities, right? But why should this matter at all? The loyalty trap is the comforting and the safest choice that a lot of professionals adhere to. If the world is moving fast enough and you are not pacing ahead of the world, then you're getting left behind. Sometimes the safest career choice is actually the one that keeps you most stuck. When one stays in an industry or a role for too long, your perspective narrows. Right? You start solving every problem with the same hammer. Right? Breaking the trap is all about multidisciplinary resilience. Right? You don't just change your email signature when you switch a job. You change your perspectives. You broaden your horizon and you build a mental model. Think about an engineer who moves to sales. He learns the resilience of rejection. The creative who moves to operations, he learns the resilience of or the discipline of systems. Right? The most valuable professionals probably may not be the ones who have 10 years of experience in just one thing, but they could be the ones who have 2 years of experiences in 5 things. I would like to bring an anecdote over here, and it's a very known fact that a forest with just one species is the most vulnerable one, whereas a diverse ecosystem is resilient, and our careers are no different, right? If your entire professional identity is tied to one company's ideology or one boss's opinion, then you are fragile, right? Your next job shift could be an investment in anti-fragility. Every time you start over in a new environment, you are forced to unlearn, relearn, retool, and reintroduce yourself. The experimental discomfort is the sound of your resilience muscles growing, right? You aren't starting over, you're leading up your ability to be exceptional, and you're expanding your knowledge. Let's talk about the math of the half-life, right, of a professional skill. So the half-life of the professional skills is at around 5 years. And if you stay in a company for probably about 7 years without evolving, it would mean that you are behind the curve and you enter a skill debt. And with the tech age progressing, with the AI innovations coming in, probably the half-life is lesser than 5 years in today's day. If you've been in the same seat for more than the half-life of a skill set, then you aren't forced to evolve. And that is when you need a hard reset, right? Learning should actually not be just limited to weekends, or upskilling should not be a hobby you hold it for the weekends. It should be a byproduct of your movement, right? It's the ultimate curriculum. It forces a new job, always forces you to hard reset, and the discomfort that you feel is actually tells you that you are becoming an expert in whatever you're achieving next. Now, career modularization tells you to move once you stop being a student. Right? Now that I've spoken about career movements, career pivots, one question that always comes to probably anyone's mind is how do you alleviate a recruiter's fear, right? So the next time when a recruiter or anyone asks you that why are you moving so soon, don't talk about what was bad with your previous organization or your previous company. Talk about what you've learned. Talk about what impact you created and what is right with your next career move and what value will you add to the new company that you're joining. You can literally tell them that I've mastered the art of 2 year steep learning curve. Now I'm here to bring a multidisciplinary toolkit that probably no one in your organization possesses. That's how you break the trap, or and you basically don't let loyalty lead to stagnation. As your value isn't found in how long you stay, but it's in how much have you grown in your career. Build a career that is probably a masterpiece, right? Go from a monument to a masterpiece, and ensure while you're doing that you build an equity in the ecosystem. I think I want you to look at this image. Now I wanted to, for most of us, it would feel like the person is actually on a steady, heavy rock, and it's probably taking the leap of faith by stepping onto a brittle or a fragile glass bridge, right? It looks like a person is leaving the solid ground, but this is how the world views your next job move, which is risk, right? I want you to take three things away from this talk. A, loyalty to a company is a debt. Loyalty to your growth is an asset. Stagnation is the new high risk behavior, and the modular professional wins by being the most adaptable person in the room. With that, that's my time, and I'm Mukul, and I'm glad to be here.